Okay, so hopefully you spent a little time looking at that Wayne Thiebaud article and watching that video about him. He is considered a pop artist, which is just taking common, ordinary things and turning them into fun commercial art that the normal, everyday average Joe is going to like. So we're going to take that idea and I want you to choose some kind of food that is a basic shape. It's either or close to a basic shape: a triangle, a square, a circle. An ice cream cone works because it's a triangle and a circle. Something like that. Even an apple will work because it's close to being a circle. And then I want you to draw it one time on your thicker piece of paper. Basically, you're going to take a template. You're going to make a template out of it, and don't do it too terribly small. So I'm going to do an apple, and I don't want to do it too terribly little. So I'm going to do something like this. Okay, there's my template. So my next step is to cut that out. Okay, so I'll do that here real quick. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. Doesn't matter whether you show the black or not. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay, and I'll do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have my template cut out. Then I have my 11 by 17 piece of paper, and I have a ruler and I have a pencil. And we are going to make ourselves a grid or guidelines, depends on how you want to do it, to make this pattern. I especially think of the one that had like the line of pies and how they're equal distance apart. They're about the same size. So my apple is a little over 4 inches. So I think I want my space to be 6 inches to give it extra space. So whatever your width of your item is, measure it. And then I'd add a couple inches. Doesn't have to be exactly 2 inches or 2.5. Just come up with an amount that's going to leave enough space in between. And then measure that on your paper. So I'm going to go 6 inches here on my paper. Hopefully you can see this. Let me bring this down. So I'm going to go 6 inches. Make sure this is straight. And then the 12 would be my next 6 inches. Okay. And then I could either put another line here and make it, a square grid, or if I kind of wanted to go on diagonals, I could like start 2 inches in, and then I could go 6 inches. So my next would be 8, and then I can go 6 inches from that mark. Okay. And then by doing that, okay, so I have my 2 lines here, and I laid my ruler against those 2 lines, and I make a line here. Then I have my 2 lines here. I'm going very light. You probably can't even see them. Okay. And then here, let's see, I need to go 2 inches in because that's where I started there. I do that there. So I don't know if you can see that, but I made a diagonal grid. But you could just make lines every 6 inches going up and down and go a straight grid. But basically, I want you to have a pattern, and I want your pattern to be neat and thought out, and not just, oh, I'll do this and then I'll just eyeball it. So I kind of have it thought out. Figure that out. Okay. And then let's see, my height of mine is 3 3/4. So I'm going to go 5 inches high. So from the middle, I'm going to go 5 inches here. So that's going to be my first line. And then if I go 5 inches here, there will be another one. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line at 5 inches. So you can see that I'm doing that. And I want to draw a line at this 5 inches here. Okay, so I basically have a grid made for myself here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Okay, so now I just got to figure out how I want this to go. Do I want to put an apple in every single grid? Or do I want to put an apple like in this one, and then in this one, and then in that one? And I think I want to do one in every single one. So where do I want to put it on the line? I think I'll make my notch every time be on my line. That should help keep me lined up. So there's apple number 1. Then I'm going to do it again here and put that little notch right on. So when I say notch, I'm talking about that little piece right there. That little piece right there. Okay, my second apple. I'm going to do the same thing here and make sure that notch is on that line. And make sure that's lined up with the bottom. Okay. Okay, got my notch on there again. But whatever it is, if it's your point on your slice of pizza that's always lined up, do that. Or if it's just you're doing a circle, maybe you're doing cookies, fold that circle template in half so you know right where the halfway line is and always line it up on that. Would be a very smart way to do that. But anyway, whatever it is, plan it out, think it out so that your pattern is going to look really nice and not just haphazard. Okay, so down over here, I've got to do one there on that line. And it needs to be a lot higher. Yep. Okay, and then there would probably be just a little bit that you could see of this one down here. So I'm just going to do the top there. So think that out too. Where would the pattern continue if it had gone off the page? Okay. I forgot and didn't do the opposite side. Okay, and there'd be a little, probably tiny bit of it right over here. See that? There you go. Right over there. Okay, so now I have my apple pattern. So now I want to make them ever so slightly different from each other because, you know, maybe it was a different flavor of pie or whatever. So I might make different colors of apples. And I think I'll actually kind of make one look like it has a slice out of it. So hopefully you guys can see how I do that. Okay, and I'm going to put a little tiny seed in that half so we can see that one. Okay, and I think I'll just do the one like that. And then I'm going to make each of my stems slightly different. Okay, so they may go different directions. One may be longer. One may be shorter. Fatter one. Okay. Okay, so I lost power there for a minute, so hopefully this still works. So I have all my apples done, and I'm going to trace mine in Sharpie just so you can see how it all worked out. But I don't want you to do that, but I'm just going to do it so you can see, and so as I color later, you're going to be able to tell.